Power can lift you up, but it can also destroy you. When you have everything, it's easy to forget your roots and believe you're invincible. That's the trap. Thinking you're in control, that your strength is all that matters. In the wild, overconfidence is fatal. Ignore the signs and nature will humble you. This is the story of King Shaddad, a man who had it all, but wanted more. He ruled a mighty nation, his people strong and his lands rich. But with power comes a test. Will you use it with humility, or let it fill you with pride? Shaddad chose pride. He believed he was a god, untouchable. He forgot there's always a greater force, nature, fate, or the creator. His arrogance led him and his people to disaster. Like finding an endless oasis in the desert, they wasted their blessings, thinking they'd never run out. Gratitude faded, pride took over, and that's when the fall began. Shaddad's story is a survival lesson for the soul. Lose humility, and you lose everything. He tried to build a paradise to rival heaven, but nature always has the last word. You can't outsmart a hurricane, or the creator. Long ago, in a land of sand and wind, lived the people of Ad, giants, legendary for their strength. They built cities carved into mountains, with pillars that touched the sky. Their land was a paradise, rivers, gardens, herds, and wealth beyond measure. But blessings became a curse. Instead of gratitude, arrogance grew. They believed their power was their own doing, not a gift. They oppressed the weak, spreading corruption. Their main city, Iram, was called the City of Pillars, a fortress of pride. No one could rival them, and they felt untouchable. But that sense of invincibility was their fatal flaw. When you have it all, you stop paying attention, you forget humility. The people of Ad worshipped their own strength, forgetting the source of their blessings. Their king, Shaddad, took their arrogance to new heights, challenging even the heavens. They had everything, except humility. Their story is a warning. Pride blinds, and downfall follows. Even the strongest can fall when they forget where their strength comes from. The stage was set for a reckoning. King Shaddad was pride personified. He saw himself not just as ruler, but as creator and master. His word was law, his ego boundless. He took credit for his people's greatness, feeding their arrogance to reflect his own. The idea of a higher power was an insult to him. Why bow to anyone? He was Shaddad, supreme. But pride in a leader leads everyone into darkness. Shaddad's hunger for power was endless. He wanted more wealth, more praise, even immortality. He heard of paradise in the heavens and scoffed. Why wait for a reward? He'd build his own. His heart hardened, his delusion grew. He believed he could rival God himself. This was a challenge that would not go unanswered. Pride had blinded him to the storm ahead. Into this world of arrogance came a voice of reason, a prophet named Hud. Hud, one of their own, was humble and righteous. He warned his people, worship the one God, be grateful for your blessings. He reminded them, rain, gardens, strength, these are gifts, not your own creations. Turn away from arrogance or face destruction. But the people of Ad, led by Shaddad, mocked him. Who are you to warn us? We are the powerful. Shaddad saw Hud as a threat, not a messenger. His pride sealed his heart. This was their final warning, the calm before the storm. Hud was their chance to turn back, but they ignored him. Shaddad, in ultimate defiance, decided to challenge the God Hud spoke of. He would build a paradise greater than any promised in the afterlife. The people followed, blind to the disaster ahead. The warning was clear, but pride made them deaf. Furious, Shaddad declared, I will build my own paradise on earth, greater than any promised by Hud's God. He ordered the construction of Iram of the Pillars, a city of unimaginable wealth. Gold, silver, pearls, and precious stones were gathered from every corner of the kingdom. For years, workers built a city of gold walls, jeweled paths, and rivers of milk and honey. Trees with golden trunks and jeweled fruit lined the streets. It was a breathtaking spectacle, cold, lifeless, and soulless. Shaddad poured all his resources into this obsession. He wanted to prove he could create perfection, a paradise of his own making. But it was only a monument to his ego. As the city neared completion, Shaddad grew impatient. He was ready to enter his creation and declare himself Lord of Paradise. The city was beautiful, but empty inside. The final act of defiance was about to begin. The day arrived. Iram of the Pillars was complete. Shaddad, his court, and followers set out in a grand procession across the desert. The city shimmered on the horizon, more magnificent than they'd imagined. Shaddad's heart swelled with triumph. He believed he'd defeated the god of Hud. As he reached the gates, ready to claim his victory, a deafening blast shook the sky. In that instant, Shaddad's life ended. He died at the threshold, never stepping inside. At the same moment, a furious wind swept over Ad and Iram. The sand rose like a tidal wave, burying the city and its people. The paradise of pride vanished without a trace. True greatness isn't in what you build, but in knowing when to bow. Humility, not gold, is the foundation of survival. Shaddad's legacy was buried by the very earth he tried to conquer. The story of Ad is a warning: pride comes before the fall. In the end, nature and the Creator always have the last word.